This is the Moto G Power 2026, a mid-ranger that may not have the highest specs, but comes with a standout design and durability. However, our suite of lab tests shows that good looks might be deceiving. I'm Will Gove for GSM Arena, and this is our Moto G Power 2026 review. The Moto G Power 2026 is a lower-tier mid-range phone that looks to mostly cover the basics, but also stands out in a couple of ways from the competition. It packs some neat features like a headphone jack and expandable storage, and good ingress protection. The phone also has an interesting design. The back and frame are made of plastic, but the back has a rubbery texture that's something like woven fabric, and it adds plenty of grip. It does tend to gather pocket lint quite easily though. Like last year's model, the phone is IP68/IP69 rated against dust, water submersion, and water jets. And it even meets a military standard for durability in temperature extremes and humidity. Also, like last year, the Moto G Power 2026 has an LCD screen instead of an OLED, but at least it's now got improved Gorilla Glass 7 eye protection. The 1080p display is sharp enough, and while the blacks aren't as deep as you get on an OLED, it gets the job done. The screen's 120Hz refresh rate is meant to smooth out movements like swiping and scrolling on screen, and it's able to dial down to as low as 30Hz when idling to save energy. However, the display pixels on this particular LCD are rather sluggish and slow to respond. Regardless of the refresh rate, there's a lot of smearing and ghosting, especially around slower moving objects, or while scrolling black text on a white background. Still, there is decent brightness here for an LCD. We measured up to nearly 950 nits maximum in automatic brightness mode. The Moto G Power has a 3.5mm jack for headphones, something not too common these days. There's also a pair of stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos support. They earned a loudness score of excellent on our charts, and the sound quality is decent, with clear mids and mostly undistorted highs. You can listen for yourself with our comparison tool linked below. The Moto G Power 2026 has a capacitive fingerprint reader built into the power button. It's snappy and accurate. And while the phone can only come with 128 gigs of storage on board, that is expandable through microSD card. The interface of this Motorola phone is the latest version of Hello UI on top of Android 16. It packs a suite of custom Moto features, which you can find organized within the Moto app, in categories like personalizations, gestures, and security options. There's also a Smart Connect hub, which hosts the features that involve connecting the phone to other devices, including a PC, tablet, or display. Although you don't have Motorola's own Moto AI here, there's no shortage of AI tools. You get Google's Gemini, along with Microsoft Copilot and Perplexity pre-installed. If you're interested to learn more about what Hello UI has to offer, you can check out our dedicated video. For software support, Motorola will provide 2 major software updates and 3 years of security patches to the Moto G Power. Despite the phone's naming, the Moto G Power 2026's chipset is not that powerful. It packs a Dimensity 6300 from MediaTek, an entry-level 5G chipset that also happened to be in the previous Moto G Power. It feels bad not to get a performance upgrade this time around, and in benchmarks, the Moto G Power 2026 sits at the bottom of the charts. And when using the phone, there are noticeable stutters and slowdowns on occasion when performing routine tasks. As expected, in our tests, there's no problem with heating or thermal throttling with such a modest chipset. The phone has a decently large 5200 mAh battery, and the battery life isn't bad. Overall, the Moto G Power 2026 earned an active use score of over 13 hours in our tests. There's support for 30-watt charging here, but the phone ships without a charger. With a compatible adapter, we were able to charge from 0 to 47% in 30 minutes, and a full charge took about an hour and a half. Nothing too speedy. While last year's model had support for 15-watt wireless charging, it seems that this year that feature has been cut, for whatever reason. Now we have the cameras. On the back, there's a 50-megapixel main camera and an 8-megapixel ultra-wide with autofocus. The Moto G Power 2026 has a usable camera setup that's solid for the class, producing decent stills during the daytime. Selfies from the 32-megapixel front-facing camera are alright too. Low light results aren't much good though. Videos come out in 1080p resolution, and the quality is only really acceptable in good lighting. So there you have it, the Moto G Power 2026. You get some crowd-favorite features like a headphone jack and expandable storage, and there's a grippy and durable build too. However, the phone does fall a bit flat in a few key areas, including the screen and the chipset, which hasn't seen any improvement since last year. Also, the wireless charging is gone this time around. If for some reason you don't care about those things, then the G Power 2026 could be worth considering. Otherwise, even at this price, there are better options out there. Thanks for watching, guys. Here are a couple of alternatives on our channel: the Xiaomi Redmi Note 14 Pro 5G and the Samsung Galaxy A36. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.